Welcome back to Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T20, it's a Tier 7 American medium tank. This one's on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay under the command of Tanker 3331. Game started. Now this tank is supposed to be the replacement for the Easy 8. Didn't get put into production, but they did produce some prototypes, I believe. And this version has the 105mm gun, which is capable of 410 alpha, but it can only penetrate 53mm of armour. Now normally you'd see the T20 with a 90mm gun. It's got a slightly longer reload speed, but it does 240 alpha and it's got decent penetration. And we can see that Tanker has taken it up to the centre line, looking for a target to shoot and to derp. Waiting for one to turn up. Normally somebody turns up, medium tank or something like that. Oh! 45 TP turns up! And that's a heavy tank, and he's just put a round into him for 163. He obviously didn't penetrate the armour, but he's certainly damaged his modules. He's reluctant to come out now. You can see the reload time that Tanker's got. It's just over 7 seconds, 7.2. And that's actually much better than the reload time for the 90mm gun. Okay, there's an IS. And he stopped! Oh, and a nice round there, 182 hit points. It's a very dangerous position to pick, actually, to shoot from. Oh, and he gets another hit! And the reason I say that is because it's so easy for the heavies to stop and shoot around in this direction and just see if anybody's at home. Well, he managed to hit that KV-3. Tries another round, but that one I think hits the buildings. Now, there are some gaps you can shoot through, but I'm not sure you can get that one. Now, he's looking at that 45 TP and it's moving, but I think he's pulling away actually. Yes, he's receiving fire from other tanks. So, yep, the 45 TP is retreating to the back of the map, to the north of the map. Oh, nice hit there by Tanker. Can he get another one in? I think he might be able to. Fires around downrange, but we don't know if that one hit. Okay, we've got a Yak Tiger off to the west and a T25 pilot, but it looks like we're doing rather well on the west side of the map. In fact, we've moved up quite nicely in the city. A Leo was seen at the centre line, but we don't know where he is. Okay. Well, he's got the rear of a Type 4 Heavy there, and oh, he didn't connect. Just trying to push out, see if he can get that Type 4 again. There he is. No, didn't connect. I think there's a roof in the way there. Trying to get around in. Oh, he didn't penetrate the armour that time. Okay, right, so for some reason the HE rounds just wouldn't do any damage. Well, there's a Wizzy 1201 FT over in the other side, and he was poking up to see if he can get any shots on our guys hiding behind the hill, but if he keeps doing that, I think Tanker might decide to put a round over that way. In fact, the T25 Pilot 1's doing the same. Is that Type 4 again? He still doesn't know where that Leo's gone. And that Leo could be very dangerous. If we were to come out and move up one, he might decide to engage us and do quite a lot of damage. The armour on this tank is not that great. It's pretty poor actually. There's the KV-3. Gets a nice hit on that for 72. KV-3 is looking this way. And yeah, inevitable. That 122mm gun, he just took around for 415 hit points, which is a high roll. He needs to be careful because heavy tanks do tend to fire shells in this direction on this particular corner. Well, he's pushing. and then he pulls back. He's looking at that Wizzy 120 again. Can just see the top of him. Started, and no, I think that hit the base of the windmill. And again, just hit the ground, I think. And he has been seen, so the Leo's nearby. Yep, the Leo's come up now. He's realised his opportunity to catch Tanker unawares. Or when Tanker's pushing out to try and get shots, he might take advantage. Can't hit the Type 4, he's behind the buildings. He might be able to hit the Leo actually. He's pulled back. He's not as close as I thought he was. But again, he keeps pulling back. There's the Leo. He's come back up again and he takes a round, and that looks like that was a penetration. 437 hit points. Trying again, and no, only 177 this time. I don't think that was a pen. Now he's nicely over the hill, but if he pulls up... Now, the one good thing about the T20 is it's got good gun depression. 10 degrees of gun depression. And he can use that against the Leo. But he's decided not to. He's just going to poke up, look round the corner and see if the Leo's there. And he doesn't appear to be. But I think the Leo is low enough health that he could probably take him out with a couple of shots. No, one shot. And yep, he's gone. Okay, but he was seen briefly. The enemy has now beaten all of our attack force on the west side of the map, and that's bad news. And we've got a T-34-100, the constructor, coming towards the center line, and that's a very dangerous opponent with a 100mm gun. Tanker's still trying to get shots on the Emil and the Type 4. He really needs to be more concerned, I suppose, about that T-34. And you saw a tree go down, so we know where the T-34 is. He is fairly close. Okay, Tanker saw that, and there he is. Yes, gets a nice hit into the side, 138. It's not a penetration shot, but it certainly does some damage. And here he comes. And he gets another round in for 136. Now, he's not a one-shot, that T-34, unless, of course, he can get a penetrating round. Our force in the town has also been massively cut. The enemy seems to be doing quite well holding our guys off. Can't see the T-34-100. There's the Emil. My gum, he's moved up quite a lot. Now, if Tanker moves down, he might be able to shoot between the buildings and get the Emil. And the Emil just got stunned, so looks like he was hit by our SU-14-1. There's the Type 4. We can almost shoot at him. He's just about to go through that gap. There he is. There's the Emil. Oh, he's this side of the buildings. Oh, we missed a perfect opportunity there, but we got it this time. And we've tracked him. Now, can we get another round into him? The 50 TP's there, and we'll put another round into him and take him out. Now, T-34-100 and the Type 4. We can just about make out the Type 4 going behind the buildings. Scores are even, but we don't know where that T-34-100 is. Poke out at the wrong moment and take a round from a 100mm gun. We don't really want that, but we really do need to take care of that T-34-100. Well, the Jagdtiger's over there. Tiger 2. Oh! Jagdtiger's just been killed. So, 6 on our team, 5 on the enemy. There's the T-34. Oh, we missed the opportunity to shoot between the buildings. Can we get around in there? Yes, we can. And, oh, we didn't get the kill. The kill actually went to our KV3. But unfortunately, T-34-100 killed our 50 TP before that happened. And we have been spotted by the enemy. Now there's only 3 enemies remaining. A Type 4 who's in the town. A Borsig who's probably back on the northwest corner of the map. And an M12. And we don't know where he is at all because we haven't received any rounds from him. There's the Type 4. Can we get around in? Yes! Only 47 hit points though, but we were spotted. And the question is, who spotted us and where is that Borsig? The Borsig hit us, it could be a lot of hit points lost in just one shot. Type 4 is now on his own in the town. It's 4 versus 3. Striv's joined us. I think we're leaving the Type 4 alone for the moment. He's in the town, but he is coming west, so he's coming up towards us. We might be able to get a few shots into him. He just took a round for 277. I think that's from the SU-14-1. Strategy-wise, well, they could whittle away at that Type 4 as he comes up the hill towards them. They just don't want to risk being derped. The unfortunate thing is we still don't know where that Borsig is. Yeah, here comes the Type 4. He's crawling up the hill towards us. Well, it looks to me like Tanker was going to flank him for a second. And oh, we've lost the Striv. And that's what I was fearing. That derp gun. Type 4 is getting hit by our SU-14-1. So that is holding him in place, so to speak. And the T-95's decided to go over and deal with the Type 4 Heavy. But it's now 3 versus 3. And, well, the enemy has less hit points than us. That's all we can say. We still don't know where that Borsig is. That's the problem. Well, the Type 4 took a big hit there, and he might be a one-shot for our gun now. And oh no, we missed the chance there. But we were spotted. And yet again, the Borsig fails to make his presence known. I have to wonder if he's gone AFK, because he's just not taking part. And we did hit the Type 4, but we didn't pen. Okay, loaded. 6 rounds of HE left. T-95's going in for the kill. And we get the kill instead. And that's a Lehvaslaiho's medal. That's killing a higher tier tanks than a medium tank. Well, that was the 2-minute warning, so we're going to have to get a move on, otherwise we're just not going to be able to cap out in time. In fact, we can only cap now if... Oh, he did get a hit there, I think. I'm pretty sure he did get a hit. We've got to get 2 in the cap now, because there's no way we can cap with 1. But we still don't know where that Borsig is. The SU-14-1 is just impossible for him to drive this distance. And just saw the T-95 fire towards the bushes, and there's the Borsig. Can we get shots? Not if we do that. We're aiming too... That's better. Okay, for a second we were aiming too high. The shell went over the top. And that's the minute warning. And if we don't get into the cap in the next 10 seconds, well, it's going to be impossible to win unless we kill all of the enemy. And yes, we did hit the M12 because he's taken a round. And we've got the kill. Which means there's only one enemy left. It's the Borsig. And we desperately need to kill them in the next 40 seconds. Otherwise, this game is going to be a draw. And I reckon that Borsig is probably running because the T-95, well, he can't cap out on his own. And he's a very slow tank destroyer. And Tanker really needs to move, and he's not moving. In fact, the other team members are sort of like saying, do this and do that, but he's just not responding. And I think if you have to say, I suspect that this game is a loss, and the others are saying that, well, they're being very uncomplimentary to Tanker, and Tanker's just fired at the T95, and the game is over. It's a draw, and I have to say that is Tanker's fault, because he should have moved sooner to try and find that Borsig, and if he found the Borsig, then the T95 could have put a round into him from a distance, and that would have helped Tanker get the last kill. So, end of battle results. Well, it's an ace Tanker for Tanker 3331 in the T20. He got a Bruiser Medal of Fighter, Fire for Effects out of that game. And he did get an epic medal. He got the Lehvaslaiho medal for taking out 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a medium tank in one battle, at least one tier higher. But I'd also have to say, I think it's Tanker's fault that he didn't win that game. And I think the rest of the team knows that as well. Because if he'd moved sooner, he would have got the kill. And he just sat there at the centre line. He was very reluctant to move forward and take advantage for fear of being hit by either the Leo or from one of the tanks in the town. And, well, if we look at damage, we can see the T95 got the highest amount. He got 5,913 hit points of damage, picked up the high caliber and a steel wall. The next highest score was the Type 4 Heavy, 4,759. He did a very good job in the town, blunting the assault that was going on, because for one moment the team almost looked like they had full control of the town, and that Type 4 Heavy was right on the outskirts, and even though Tanker managed to put a round into him, or in fact actually tried to put rounds into him, he was holding the enemy back, and unfortunately in the end he did sort of like delay the attack quite enough to make it well, a draw. Let's have a look at the number of kills. Well, the highest number of kills, that will go to Tanker 3331. He did get 4 kills out of that. The Type 4 Heavy got 3 and the Wizzy 120 got 3. And when it came to base XP, again, Tanker 3331 got the most. He got 799 for his team, but the Type 4 Heavy, with all of that damage he did, holding up the team in the town, he did 866 base experience points. So yeah, he's the winner on base XP, not Tanker 3331, and he came second. So let's have a look at detail. Well, he fired 31 rounds in that game, got 19 direct hits and 4 penetration and 14 splash. Damage of 2,646 hit points, of which 1,262 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit and it was a penetration, and he also damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4 and did damage assistance of 1,551 hit points. On a free-to-play account, he earned 28,343 credits, got 3,259 credits for the Achievements Award because he got an epic medal in a losing or a draw battle, and he was fined 106 hit points for damage he did to allies. I think that was the shot he fired at the T95 at the end of the game, which was totally unnecessary. And I think it was a bit out of anger or because he'd been called an idiot by the other team members. And so his total came to 31,496, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 19,507 hit points. On the XP side, he earned 799 base XP, got 468 for the Achievements Award, got a personal reserve bonus of 1267, took away 2,534 experience points altogether. He calls this one a good battle. I'd have to say this is probably one of your worst, actually, that you sent to me. You sent me many good battles. This one, I think, was a loss, or rather a draw, because you didn't move. If you'd moved and found the Borsig, I think it probably would have made a difference. And at one point I thought you were going to try and outflank that Type 4 and come around the side of him whilst he was engaging the T95, shoot him in the side, and then outflank the enemy and go around them and try and get at the Borsig. But yeah, it didn't quite work out like that. And because you sat at the centre line for way too long after killing the Type 4, you gave the initiative to the enemy, and all that the Borsig had to do was hide and wait for the clock to run out. So not a good game, not your best. It is an ace tanker, but yeah, I would say you've done better. Okay, so if you enjoyed that replay, please give the video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.